Hello, Facebook. It's been a minute since I got on and did anything live or did any kind of videos, whatever the case is. But over the last few days, I've been kind of just pondering stuff and just kind of trying to soak everything in. There's been a lot happening. You know, we had the two shooting deaths of two citizens. We've had a number of police officers that have been murdered. So the last couple of days, we've had a lot of killing, needless killing. First and foremost, as a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, I took oath to protect, basically, to protect the rights of every United States citizen in this land. So I respect and understand the difficult job that police officers have to do on a day in and day out basis. I understand that. Hey, Tony, what's going on? But at the same time, I have to look at this in a whole different light, because none of us are free of any of this. Excuse my expression. I'm gonna cuss a little bit. I'll just let you know right now. We all smell shit. We just don't realize that it's our own shit that we're smelling right now. You know, we got some blue shit going on, we got some white shit that's going on, and we got some black shit that's going on. And all of it stinks. Getting back to my oath. I'm not a police officer, never have been, never wanted to be, but I respect your job. But I'm pretty sure your oath was not very different than the oath I took when I joined the United States Marine Corps, which was, first of all, my first oath was to the Constitution of the United States of America, which meant that my job was to protect the rights of every citizen in this land. And if one of my fellow Marines was doing something wrong, it was my job, because my first oath was to the Constitution, that I have to call this Marine out and let him know what he's doing is bullshit. First and foremost, I love my Marines. I always watch the Six, and we still are. A lot of us are still friends to this day. We do anything for them. But when you take and you switch some stuff up and say, okay, well, I got to protect my fellow officer beyond what my initial oath was, that's wrong. And a lot of you know that there's a lot of bullshit that's going on in these police departments across the country. When a 12-year police veteran in Cleveland, Ohio, voices her opinion about what she thinks of these shootings, and she gets suspended from her job, that's clue number one that there's a lot of bullshit going on in the police departments. Period, cut and dry. Now let's move on to the next piece of it. We can't keep expecting people to understand how we feel, regardless of what side of the fence that you're on. I've never been white, so I can't tell you what a white person feels like right now. And white people, you can't tell me what I feel like right now as a black man in the United States of America. I can scream, I can talk, I can protest, I can do whatever the hell I want to do, but you've never walked in my shoes, so you will not ever understand what it feels like to be a black man in America. You know, we're supposed to get over a lot of stuff. My last name is Milner. You know where my history goes back to? To the slave owner that owned my ancestors in Milner, Georgia, about an hour south of here. That's what it goes back to. You wouldn't understand that, though, and I wouldn't expect you to. I don't expect you to understand how it feels to be called a nigger. I really don't. It is what it is. So we can't keep expecting people that are different from us to understand how we feel. But the biggest thing about this is we need to respect how people feel. Whether you understand it or not, whether you agree with it or not, we all feel the way that we feel. Okay, now let's get back to my people. Our shit stinks too. You know, we complain a lot about, you know, what's going on in our communities and the police in our communities. But what are we doing to stop the stuff that's happening in our communities? Because basically right now all they got to do is turn on TV and enjoy a good movie about how many of us have killed so many of us over the weekend. And we want to complain about cops shooting black people, and that's fine. It's justified. Complain all you want to, because there is something wrong with that. But all of us that are making that complaint right now, all of us that are feeding into that frenzy, the media frenzy, what are we doing pouring back into our community so we can save our young black boys, our young black girls? Are we teaching them how to open up businesses? Are we teaching them how to conduct themselves on an interview? Do we have homework tutoring classes to help them get through school so they can get to college on the next level? We all have some things that we got to check ourselves on, people. America was founded to be a melting pot. It didn't mean that we always had to get along, but we should respect each other and how each other feels. That's the biggest problem right now. Nobody respects how the other person feels. And if somebody don't feel like you feel, then they're wrong. And that's fine. You don't have to respect. You don't have to accept it, but respect somebody else's opinion, whether right, wrong, or indifferent. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm going through my timeline and I see people that I've known for years and they're posting stuff and it's like, really? I don't give a damn if that man's record was as long as I-85. He did not deserve to die with a gun in his pocket, 5 point-blank shots into his chest. I don't give a damn how long his record was. You always want to justify killing. What about Mr. Castillo in Minnesota, who told the officer that he was a licensed gun owner? The cop asked him to give me your license and registration. He reached for it. Don't you move. He moves his hands back to put his hands back up, and he gets shot multiple times. When are you going to understand and recognize that you're going to have to start calling out bullshit if you want all of this other bullshit to end? Stop being complicit about everything. You want stuff right. You want people to act a certain way. Well, you know what? You got to call some people out when they're doing some stuff wrong. Everything has a justification. Really. Wrong is wrong. I got a lot of friends of a lot of different hues. A lot. Travel the world, met people from all over the world, and served with a lot of great people. A lot of great men and women, all different backgrounds and cultures. But one thing that I loved about being in the Marine Corps, when one of us stepped out of line, there was somebody else there to correct us. Marine, you're wrong. You shouldn't have done that. And we won't do that to each other right now. We'll do it to the people on the other side of the fence. But the people that are on the same side of the fence, we won't check them. Why? Because it's uncomfortable? Because we might be ruled a sellout? That's why we're in this situation right now. Because nobody wants to check anybody. If you see someone doing wrong, you should tell them they're doing wrong. Whether they have the same skin color as you or not. Whether they're wearing the same uniform as you or not. This is the biggest problem that we're having right now. And if anybody looks at all of their feeds, I can guarantee you that all of your feeds are feeded one or two ways, either on the left side of the fence or the right side of the fence. And I can guarantee you it's down the color line. I can guarantee you it's down the color line. And rather us call somebody out for putting up some BS, we want to let it ride. Well, I'm tired of letting it ride. I respect a lot of you, but you know what? Bullshit is bullshit, and I'm going to call you on it from this point forward. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Black, white, police, Marine, it don't matter. If it's wrong, it is wrong. And if you are not human enough to see wrong and call wrong out, then you are part of the problem. Point blank and period. We want all this unrest to stop. Then call those people that are causing these problems out. And stop making freaking excuses for everybody. That's all I have. Y'all have a good night.